الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today I'm giving you something which you probably already know about believing in the angels. It's number 6 on your booklet. The believing in the angels is like the believing in Allah Azza wa Jal, believing in the unseen. Where's your brother, Sarah? Is he coming today? Yeah. Okay. Rayan Anwar, you are. Believing in Allah Azza wa Jal, believing in the angels, believing in the books, believing in the messengers, believing in the day of judgment, and believing in the will of Allah Azza wa Jal, the plan of Allah. They're all believing in the unseen. With one exemption, the Quran, because Allah Azza wa Jal guaranteed the Quran will be intact, preserved for us to have immediate, direct access to Allah Azza wa Jal and His teaching. And obviously the hadith sahih. But believing in Allah is the unseen. If somebody will not believe in Allah unless he sees Him, say, bad luck, you're not going to believe then. You're not going to see Him. You're not going to see the angels. You're not going to see the Day of Judgment hasn't happened. You're not going to see a lot of the books. You're not going to see any of the prophets because they're all passed away. You might be, if you live long enough, you might have a chance to see Isa when he comes back. But that will be the end of time, the Day of Judgment will happen. Believing in the unseen, one of it is the angels. Allah Azza wa Jal said, يَوْمَ يَرَوْنَ الْمَلَائِكَةَ لَا بُشْرَى يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُجْرِمِينَ. When the day you see the angels is not good news for the unbelievers. So you're not going to see the angels. And if you come and say you saw angels, probably you saw some light, something strange. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, some Sahaba saw angels, but they didn't know they were angels. They were confirmed by the Prophet ﷺ they were angels. Like when the Prophet ﷺ was sitting in the mosque once teaching, and a man came, dressed in white, smart. There was no sign that he was traveling, and nobody knew him. So he sat opposite to the Prophet ﷺ, and he asked him, what is Islam, what's Iman, what's Ihsan, when is the Day of Judgment? And then he left. When he left, he asked Umar ibn Khattab, go and fetch him. He went outside, disappeared. And he said that was Jibreel came to teach you your religion. They didn't know when he was sitting there and talking. When the Badr war took place, they heard from the cloud a sound called saying, Hayzoom, go forward. Like it was the leader of an army ordering his soldiers to start fighting. And the sound was so frightening. The Sahaba very frightening. What was that? Saying Hayzoom. So Allah Azza wa Jal promised the Muslims in Badr that He said to the angels, I'm with you. قال الله الملائكة إني معكم فثبتوا الذين آمنوا سألقي في قلوب الذين كفروا الرعب فاضربوا فوق الأعناق واضربوا منهم كل بنان. He said to the angels, make the Muslims steadfast, and I'm with you. I will throw the fear in the heart of the kafirin, and you hit above the neck and you destroy every fingertip. So these kafirin become beyond recognition. Nobody will even recognize them if you are recognized from your fingerprint. So why he said hit above the neck? Because usually you hit the neck with a sword, they target the neck. Why they said hit above the neck? I was discussing this with the Mufti of Egypt. I was in Egypt. And I said, to me as a doctor, above the neck means you hit the brainstem for instant death. He said, you're probably right. Because the neck is here, above the neck is where the brainstem is. If somebody wants to kill himself for sure, don't do it at home, they open their mouth and hit the brainstem. He will be dead instantly. So he said, destroy, kill them instantly above the neck. You can't reach it unless you are an angel, and destroy their fingertip. Obviously, at that time, they didn't know that your fingerprints is unique to you. In the Quran mentioned twice, أحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانه. That man thinks that we will not bring back his bones. We will be even recreating his own fingerprints. So if you have your fingerprints on a metal or whatever to keep with you in your grave, take that fingerprint, and when Allah recreates you, compare. You will find it's the same. Allah will recreate you, even recreate your fingerprints. So, the angels, you need to believe in the angels without seeing them. You're not going to see them. When you see them, it's bad news for the kafir, it's good news for the Muslims. Because Allah Azza wa Jal said, إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا وأبشروا بالجنة التي كنتم توعدون نحن أولياؤكم في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة. Those who believe in Allah Azza wa Jal and were straight, the angels will come down the time of death to them and say that we were with you, protecting you in this life, and we will be with you. They will be with us till we get to paradise, and we would say, don't fear and don't be sad. It's good news. You will be in paradise. So death for the Muslims will be a celebration. It will be like a nice journey. You're going really to a nice alternative, and you will be received by the angels, and will be bad news for the kafirin. Kafirin will be straight away punished. They hit their faces and their back. The Muslims will enjoy meeting the angels at the time of death. In this life, you have, as you told as children, you have two angels, one on the right, one on the left, writing your good deeds and bad deeds. But you have other angels who are also around you. Yeah? So سواء منكم من أسر قولا ومن جهر به ومن هو مستخف بالليل وسارب في النهار له معقبات من بين يديه ومن خلفه يحفظونه من أمر الله. So whether you are talking to yourself about your secrets, or you're telling other people, whether you're hiding in the darkness of the night, or you're doing things in the middle of the day, there is angels in front of you, behind you, on your sides, protecting you by an order from Allah. And if the order of Allah not to protect you, what will happen to you? You suddenly see somebody hit by a car. There's a lot of videos I notice on social media, people near miss. He just run the right time and escape death. Hit by a car or a train or a big stone or a big rock or something. And some people actually, you expect them to turn right, they don't, and they get hit. This one came, it was on the news ages ago before this social media, came out of a shop in Oxford Street, jumped over the barrier to be hit immediately by a bus. So it just didn't look right, didn't look to the right. In London, because there's a lot of foreigners, there's writing on the road, look left, look right, because if you're coming from a country that drive on the right, you don't expect a car to come from the left. I was driving in Spain, and I said to my wife, look at that guy driving in the wrong side of the road. He was driving correctly on the right. I was driving on the left. I thought I was in Britain. So you need to be careful if you drive outside UK to drive according to them. During the day when there's a lot of cars, they will correct you, don't worry. But if you are alone, and I was alone in the road and that guy coming the wrong side of the road, he was the right side of the road and I was in the wrong side of the road. So Allah Azza wa Jal created angels, which is always around us and always protecting us, or withdraw their protection. So you get hit. In in Badr, when the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever see Al-Abbas, don't kill him, because he was on the side of the Qurayshi, the Kafirin. But Al-Abbas was a believer in hiding. He was getting the news to the Prophet ﷺ and telling, Kafirin of many things. And so he was forced to come out to fight with the Qurayshis, because you are with us, you are not a Muslim openly. They didn't know he was Muslim in hiding. So a guy came leading Al-Abbas. Al-Abbas was quite tall and quite strong. And he said, "Oh, Messenger, I took Al-Abbas as a prisoner." He said to him, "No. There were an angel's ajlah on a horse, a block, and he was leading him. The angel was leading Al-Abbas. It wasn't this small guy. And when Allah Azza wa Jal, when He ordered the angels to destroy the people of Lut because of practicing homosexual, Jibreel came and took the whole of Sodom up into heaven, turned it upside down and smashed it on the ground. Where about now? If you want to see where it is. Any of you been? You really need to go and see it. It's the Dead Sea. It's 400 meters below the sea level. That smash collapsed the earth underneath. They asked, he said, "You know the Dead Sea?" He said, "Yes." He said, "His father killed him." That's a joke. So when Bani Qurayza came to betray the Muslims at the time of the Mot war, a man knocked on the door of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and Aisha came out and he said, "Can I speak to the Prophet ﷺ?" He was in the bath. So she told Prophet Muhammad, so he went outside and it was Jibreel. He told him that the angels are still wearing the fighting costume, so you should go and carry on, finish the war by dealing with Bani Qurayza. So Muhammad ﷺ, he said to Aisha, "Have you seen him?" She said, "Yes." He said, "That was Jibreel." So many Sahaba saw the angels, but they didn't know they were angels. And believing in the angels is, if somebody doesn't believe in the angels, he's kafir. Because Allah Azza wa said, وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِاللَّهِ وَمَلَائِكَتِهِ وَكُتُبِهِ وَرُسُلِهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا بَعِيدًا. Whoever disbelieves in Allah, His angels, His books, His messengers, and the Day of Judgment, he has gone astray, massively, severely astray. And whoever is enemy to Allah and His angels and His messengers and Jibreel and Mikael, Allah is the enemy to the Kafirin. So the Jew did not like Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam. Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam was always with Isa alayhi salatu wasalam to protect him all the time. So وَأَيَّدْنَاهُ بِرُوحِ الْقُدُسِ, Allah said, supported Isa alayhi salatu wasalam with Jibreel all the time. Now the angels obviously come to us on Fridays. They are by the door of the mosque or the praying area, writing down the names of those who come to pray. But when the Imam starts the khutbah, they close the books and they sit and listen to the khutbah. So whoever comes after they close these books, they won't be recorded as attendance. Allah Azza wa Jalla had angels move around the earth and find out those who make zikr to Allah Azza wa Jalla, make and recite the name of Allah. You say Allah, 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 or say Subhanallah or Alhamdulillah, and they sit with them and they do the dhikr with them. Also they come to circles who sit and read the Quran and discuss the meaning of the Quran. So ما اجتمع قوم في بيت بيوت الله يتلون كتاب الله ويتدارسونه بينهم. There's no group of people who meet in the house of Allah Azza wa Jal, the house of the houses of Allah, read the book of Allah and discuss it among themselves, but the angels will be surrounding them, and the blessing of Allah will be with them, and the mercy of Allah will be with them, and Allah will mention them with those who are in His presence. So there will always be angels around you in your house. The house who have a dog or a picture, the angels will not go in that house. And the scholars said the pictures would show a full body, full person. The Prophet ﷺ never liked any pictures. He came and there were a picture of an animal. Aisha put it on the wall, and he said, I couldn't concentrate in my prayer, just remove it. When my children we have in the house, even if there's something like, a small animal or whatever, a picture of animal, they will remove it when they pray, because we'll be facing you. Angels also come to the person the time of death. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in Allah يتوفى الأنفس حين موتها والتي لم تمت في منامها. So Allah Azza wa Jalla will take your soul when it's time for you to die, and if it's not the time for you to die, during your sleep. So when you are asleep, your spirit will not be in your body. The spirit will be moving around, seeing things, whatever. If you are not to die, the spirit will come back. If it's to die, the spirit will be with Allah Azza wa Jalla, and the person will be dead. And the angel of death is... Who is the angel of death? What's his name? You should know. One day he will be visiting you. What's his name? Azrael. If you know Israel, Azrael. With the Ain, Azrael. قُلْ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ الَّذِي وُكِّلَ بِكُمْ. Allah said in the Quran. Now, Malak al-Maut, the angel of death, will be taking charge of you. And his other name is Hadim al-Ladhat wa Mufarriq al-Jama'at, the one who will destroy happiness and spread or divide those who were together. So usually when the father dies or the mother dies, the children go far away, live their own life separate. But he is Hadim al-Ladhat, so he will... and then under his control, there's a lot of angels. حتى إذا جاء أحدكم الموت وفته رسلنا. So Allah Azza wa Jalla take the souls of the people, deputize Azrael to go and be in charge of all the angels who go to visit those who are dying. It's a story mentioned about Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam. He was sitting in his assembly, and a guy was sitting there, and he said, a man walked in, and this guy said to Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, I don't like this guy, he's terrifying me. Can you send me somewhere? So he sent him to India, from Palestine to India. And that guy left. And then he went back and thanked Sulaiman. He said, Allah asked me to take his soul in India. And then he is sitting with you in Palestine. So thank you for sending him to India. Because he went to India to take his soul. So that's one of the jobs which the angels are expected to do. Now, in heaven, Allah Azza wa Jal, the Prophet ﷺ said that Bayt al-Ma'mur will be entered every day by 70,000 angels. They will not come out. When Jibreel used to come to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he used to come in the angel, like an angel hanging in the sky, especially the first time he met him. But he used to come to him in a body of a man called What's his name now? I've forgotten. Duhyat al-Kalbi. So he used to appear like Duhyat al-Kalbi. And that's the easiest for the Prophet ﷺ to take the Quran from him. For us, there is angels who are during the day and during the night to take charge. And now, one of the things you will have in Jannah, that angels will be always greeting you and welcoming you and entertaining you. The angels were there when Allah Azza wa Jal decided to create Adam, and He said to them that I will be creating a vicegerent on earth. Now, how would you think of the angels scientifically? How would you, Yusuf, how would you convince your non-Muslim friend that there is angels? Besides saying to him, you are an angel. Or probably not saying to him. How would you convince somebody scientifically there is angels? Maybe? Say it loudly. Still didn't hear it. With? Milton. What's that? Miracle. Miracles. Can you perform miracle in front of? So how would you convince somebody, Taha? Besides saying, I'm an angel, believe me.
Is that like they're made out of light?
In?
They're made out of light.
Yeah, but how would you convince somebody who is not a Muslim that there is angels? So seems there's a mechanism. While holding himself by a miracle. The door. Yeah, how would you convince somebody? Zakaria. Amara. Convince me scientifically there is angels. Yeah, you want to try, Zainab? There's a lot of things in our world which is there, but we don't actually know it exists. Now, the first one who knew there's things which exist we don't see were a lady who died because she was doing experiments. What's her name? And there's a big organization in her name in Britain.
Marie Curie.
Yeah, Marie Curie, who discovered there's something called radiation. They never knew. So you have radiation, which could be harmful radiation, could be good radiation. Like what? What are the good radiation? Coming from the sun.
Is it the heat?
The heat. Is radiation heat? Is heat radiation? It heats things next to it, isn't it? Till it reaches you. So it heats the atmosphere. It heats that. Why when you go up, temperature drops then? It should be more hot up there, nearer to the sun. Why? Actually, planes, one of the things they discovered when they discovered the planes, that the higher you go, the more likely the plane become too heavy. Why? Because ice starts accumulating on the wings. So they heat the wings to stop the ice forming, because it will be heavy weight and will drop. Because the earth retains the heat and heat the air next to it. But when you go up, the heat is less. The sun with long time heat the earth. And the earth itself, when you go down, every 100 meters, temperature go up by 1 degree. Why is that? Although far away from the sun. Because, Asif, are you with me or are you drifting with your daydreaming? Because it's a melted rocks under there. The earth is just a crust over a ball of fire inside. It's all melted. How do we know it's melted? When a phenomena happen, we know underneath is a melted rocks.
Yeah.
What's that phenomena?
Like magma.
Yeah, through volcanoes. Yeah, volcanoes that throw all these melted rocks. So radiation is in existence while nobody can see it, but it could harm you or benefit you. Photon you don't see will create all these sensitive, and form the carbohydrate and things. And so, but you have the angels made of light, but seem to have a soul, a spirit, and they have personality. And jinn are made of fire, and also they have personality. Your soul is not made of atoms, it's made out of something also, but it has personality. Your personality is not the atom in your body, it's not the food you eat. It's mainly the spirit in your body. The spirit could be directed wrongly or rightly by who? Who directs your spirit to behave well or badly? That's another job for the angels. Allah Azza wa Jal said, وَهَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ. Allah guided you through the both way, the good way and the bad way. The bad path, the ideas come from the shaitans. إِنَّ لِلْمَلَكِ لُمَّ وَلِلشَّيْطَانِ لُمَّ. So the Prophet ﷺ said, the shaitan bring you bad ideas, and the angels bring you good ideas. And you decide which one to follow, as a person, as a spirit. Now, consciousness, they have done a lot of work on the brain to find out if there's a center for consciousness. Every part of the brain has a function, but until now, they could not find a center. They talk about microtubules and things, and nothing actually proven. There's a professor in America, he's a Russian, Hamarov, and he was giving a talk I was listening to, and he said I would be disappointing the atheist that there is no way to deny the existence of the spirit in the body, because it is the consciousness existence in man. So you as a person, it's your spirit, and you use the body to see things, learn things, agree with things and not agree, or do things or not do things. But when the time of his death, the angels come and take that spirit. The spirit doesn't die. The spirit is taken out of the body, like the body is the car and the spirit is the driver. When the car is no longer functioning, it has multiple organ damage, the engine gone, there's no petrol, there's no tires, there's no mechanism, there's no this, no that. You're going to abandon the car and leave. And that's the spirit taken out of the body. The body could be still functioning when the spirit leaves the body. حتى Allah Azza wa Jalla said, حتى إذا جاء أحدكم الموت توفته رسلنا. When death comes to the one of you, our messengers, our angels will take him out of the body. So the body remain alive for a few seconds, few minutes, few days. The maximum was like 16 years. A body in a vegetative state, still the heart is beating. They chain the body right and left and do massage and feed the body remained alive. But there's no spirit. One of the patients I saw in vegetative state, she lived 9 years in Solihull. And when I saw her, I didn't feel there's a spirit there. Could be the eyes opened. Nothing there. There's no reaction whatsoever. The family didn't want to give up on her, and they kept turning her and feeding her. All have been done mechanically. But the spirit, we don't know when the spirits leave the body. So as doctors, we wait for 2 hours before we actually certify death. So the guy has to remain on the bed for 2 hours before they take him to the mortuary, because you don't know. Some people who die because of freezing, they might recover. Or people who die because of gas poisoning, they might recover. Usually people after 30 seconds, they'll be dead. There's no heartbeat. But after a minute, definitely dead. But when you have somebody frozen, there's a chance that they will come back. But the angels will take the body when the body is actually dying. The angels are made of light, but we don't know what sort of light, what sort of beams, what are they. This is hidden from us, and we have to believe in the unseen, like believing in Allah Azza wa Jal, and you won't see Him. If somebody say, I will not believe in God unless I see Him, say, you're not going to see Him. Bad luck. Because the things will be accepted from you is believing in Him unseen. If you say to me, I believe there is a sun, yeah, I know. Everybody believes there's a sun. There's a sun over there. I believe there's a moon, yeah, fine. I believe there is a Jupiter, yeah, I can have a telescope and say where, find out which location, whatever. So, but the thing you're going to be rewarded for is believing in Allah unseen. Believing in the angels unseen. If Allah said it, you have to believe in it. You cannot not believe. The Quran sent by Allah Azza wa Jalla, if somebody denies one verse in the Quran, he takes it out or refuses it, he's not a Muslim. Why? Because he's denying Allah Azza wa Jalla wisdom, knowledge, ability. You cannot deny Allah Azza wa Jalla knowing the future either. If Allah Azza wa Jalla said, غُلِبَتِ الرُّومُ فِي أَدْنَى الْأَرْضِ وَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ غَلَبِهِمْ سَيَغْلِبُونَ, He said to the Muslims that Roman has lost the war, but they will win the next war. And Abu Bakr, he was 100% believer that Allah knows the future. He went and put a bet with Abu Jahl that the next war, the Roman will win. And they made it 100 camels. If they lose, I will lose 10 camels. If they win, you give me 10 camels. And he went to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said to him 3 years, after 3 years. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, increase the time and increase the bet. The bet at that time wasn't haram. So Abu Bakr went back and increased it to 7 years, 7 to 9 years. And he increased the camel to 100 camel. And the Roman won the war when the Muslim won Badr war at the same time. But betting was haram at that time. So Abu Bakr didn't take the camels, and he asked them to... Abu Jahl at that time was killed in Badr. So the camels were kept for the bet, and Abu Bakr donated all the camels to the people to eat and use it. So his belief in the unseen, not only unseen now, unseen what will happen in the future. So whoever denies the day of judgment, he is not a Muslim, although it hasn't happened. So the belief all together has to be in the unseen. While the pillars of Islam, yeah, you pray, people see you praying, see you fasting, see you going to Hajj, you pay zakah. But the belief in the heart is only shown through the characters of the person. If you are really truthful, because Allah observing you. If you are trustworthy, Allah observing you. If you never lie, Allah observing you. If you keep the promise, Allah observing you. So your belief in the unseen will be shown through the behavior. So, and this is why the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Muslimu man salima al-Muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadih. Well, we say the Muslim who's the one who say Shahada, pray, fast, go to Hajj and pay zakah. The Prophet said, no, the Muslim is the one whose people are safe from his hand, hitting, shooting, whatever, and his tongue. And والمؤمن من أمنه الناس على أموالهم وأعراضهم. The mu'min, the believer in the unseen, is the one who people trust him with their money and their honor. So he doesn't go secretly and talk to his wife or his daughters and things. And al-muhajir, the immigrant for the sake of Allah, is the one who hajara ma naha Allahu anhu, the one who kept himself away from what Allah has forbidden. It's haram, haram. I won't go there. I won't go even near it. So there's a hadith here that as-sama full, heaven is full of angels. Like every 4 fingers, there's an angel praying or making sujood to Allah Azza wa Jalla. So, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on your way out, you have to stamp number 6.